Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Untangled. We are on episode 108. Really happy to be here with you guys, November 19th. We are going to be talking about the splitting of the worlds, the split that we're in right now, the spiritual war that we are in, the different energies and frequencies that we are in, how to navigate it all, and really starting to peel apart, getting serious about what we're in, getting real serious. Um, Anyways, welcome to Untangled. If you are brand new to my channel, I'm glad you're here listening to us and joining. Please share where you are in the world so we can say hello to you and also just connect to everybody all around the world that joins every single week. It's always nice to know that we are connected all over the world, going through the exact same things, even if it's a tad bit different. It's still the evolution in human consciousness, and it's always nice to know that we are not alone. We have Belgium and Israel, Quebec, Missouri, Slovenia, Tampa, Florida, Buffalo, New York, India, Hungary, Massachusetts, New York, New Zealand, Denmark, another New York, the Netherlands, Clearwater, Florida, Puerto Rico. Hello, Puerto Rico, Holland, Vermont, Toronto, Iran, Sweden, Norway. I love it. We're all over France, England. So good. I love it. I love it. I love it. What we do here in Untangled is as of late, we are talking about the evolution in human consciousness, which is what you and I are in, and how to navigate it, what it looks like, what it feels like, that you're not crazy. And it's a remembrance. You know, this is a remembering of what you knew as soul or God or spirit before you incarnated into the human body. And we can get very distracted in this world. We can think that there's things wrong with you, that you've got issues and problems, you're bipolar, you're depressed, you're this, you've got ADHD, all the different labels. Nobody understands you, you feel all alone, all of that. And when we start to peel all of that back, we recognize, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. I'm in an evolution in human consciousness. I've chosen to be a part of this planetary shift. And we can get caught up in all the stories of like, am I this volunteer or am I going into 5D or all the stories of all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, when we peel it all back, it's just an energetic frequency shift that we're experiencing in a physical body. And there are a lot of energies out there on the planet that are trying to stop it. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the insane energies and the different layers of this energy right now. And the whole purpose of this episode today is not to elicit fear, it's to elicit a remembrance. You know, one of the things that we did as soul, spirit, God, source, prior to incarnating into the amazing physical form that you're in right now, is that you knew what this was going to be like. Now, of course, there's free will on the planet, so we didn't exactly know how humanity would choose to navigate this, but we knew exactly what we were entering into. We knew that there would be a battle of frequency. We knew that there would be a natural evolution in frequency. We knew that the frequency would be experienced in the body and on the planet. And we knew that we would be waking up to experience it and to shift and to assist. And I have to say, from somebody that's been awake and aware of this since I was 12, wide awake to all of this, the shift, to the frequency shifts. This is the most intense time that I've ever experienced on the planet. And it's both a wild moment in my experience and a very deep, deep humbling. So before I begin to share a little bit about this split that the planet is experiencing and the different types of ways that we're being inundated with different energies and frequencies, I want to share my experience the last month. So Um, I hope my other intention of this episode is to really calm you down a little bit if you're feeling, like, it's just getting crazy in your world. I just want you to remember that, you're in something. You're in the fishbowl of the human evolution. So it's not your fault, so to speak, and it can feel very out of control. So, about a month ago, I got back from Kenya. I live in Northern California. And within about 3 or 4 days, I started to feel really heavy energies again. Again, meaning when I was in Kenya for 7 weeks, I didn't feel any of what I'm feeling right now. Any. I felt light and free. I felt aligned and connected. I felt whole. I felt present. I felt now. I felt very different. Right. And when I got back, within about 3 or 4 days, I started to feel this really, really heavy blanket over me. And I started to feel exhaustion like I've never felt. And I am used to navigating my life through an energetic perspective. So I always know that everything moves, always. 'Cause that's how energy is. So I was like, "Okay, well, I'm exhausted today. I'll lay around and do nothing, and tomorrow will be better. I'll just wake up and I'll go back to, doing whatever." That didn't happen. Every single day, almost every single day for the last month, I've barely been able to leave my house. And the amount of heavy, intense energy I've never experienced before. So I'm just noticing this every day. And I'm not beating myself up. I'm cautious of it. I'm conscious of it. I'm feeling it. It's almost like I'm a scientist and I'm trying to navigate it. Is it this? Is it that, right? What is it? Is it poison? Is it 5G? Is it the infiltration of other energies from other people? Like, what is this? And I'm trying to dissect the energies. That's all that I do every day. It's my job. I dissect energies. And I'm realizing as each day goes on that I'm feeling heavier and heavier, that I'm feeling foggier. Even right now, as I sit here right now, I can feel a fog around me. I feel like there is something that is trying to numb me or like, it's really hard to describe, but it's almost like you're a cup that's got mud on the sides of it and it needs to be cleared or cleaned. That's how I feel. Okay. I'm very healthy, very, very healthy. I eat very well. I drink really good, very good filtered water that comes in big glass gallon things. Um, I've got all kinds of things around my house for the 5G. I exercise every day. I sweat every day. This is another level. I'm outside in nature. I'm calm. I'm a lot like there, you can't, there's nothing going on in my life that would cause this other than the external energies. And I'm always shown through guidance kind of what's going on the planet. I know there's tons of poisons, right? Hold on one second. I got to go turn my heat off. So I'm very aware. Hello, everyone that's joining right now. I'm very aware that there's tons of poisons. I get it all. I've been aware. Um, I also know that there are nefarious energies that are trying to stop this evolution. And I also understand what the evolution is and that the body is increasing in frequency. And I'll go into all of that in a second. But what I have been experiencing for this month, every single day, and it's not emotional, by the way. So I thought it was kind of emotional stuff. I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is because I'm going through some emotional things, and it's not. I'm very, very clear at this point what this is. It is not about astrology. It is not about 5G. It is not about the poisons, and it is not about the spraying. I am becoming very, very clear on what this is for me personally, and it does not need to be for you. And I'm not saying this to elicit fear. I'm saying this in terms of an awareness of what's happening on the planet. It's also not just high frequency light that's moving through my body. Okay. I'm aware of all of that. I understand all of that. I got it. I've been getting it since 1989. Okay. What I am feeling right now on the planet personally in Northern California is that I there is a frequency, there is like a dusting of frequency, okay, like an energetic dust that is, and maybe it's just Northern California, I don't know. I really don't know, but I know what I'm experiencing. And I'm sharing this because there's I have no other option, no way of fighting this other than to talk about it so that we can somehow learn how to get through this so that quote unquote they don't dumb us or numb us down even more and we don't beat ourselves up. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you start beating yourself up, you're becoming more disempowered and out of your body. What they want, the energies that have been controlling the planet for 6,000 years, is they want you out of your body. They want you numb. They want you disconnected. They want you distracted. And they want you to be beating yourself up as if there's something wrong with you. And so the reason I'm sharing this today is not to elicit fear, but to elicit empowerment so that you realize there is absolutely nothing wrong with you, to keep staying in your body, to keep feeling everything, and to fight through this with the tools that you have. So, what I know as a fact for Lori Ladd in Northern California that I have finally come to terms with after kind of peeling apart everything I've been experiencing for a month is, and I was shown this through like guide, kind of like this intuitive guidance, that there is an energetic sprinkling of energy that is in a lower frequency that is trying to stop or block the natural frequency of this evolution. So, evolution is the entire human collective shifting into higher frequencies through a body. Okay. Your soul isn't shifting frequency, your spirit isn't shifting frequency, the body is. The planetary body is, your physical body is, and because your physical body is, the entire human collective as one physical body is shifting frequency. It's a natural process, it's just happening. You can't stop it, you can't try to fast forward it, you can't get out of it, you're not in control of it. Believe it or not, you're not in control of the actual frequency shift. Okay. It's just naturally happening based on the amount of energy and frequency that's coming down from the sun into your physical body, onto the planet, and into the human collective field. Now, the energies that have been controlling this planet for 6,000 years, they understand all of this. They see, literally, they can energetically see the increase in frequency on the planet, in your body, in my body, on the planetary body. And they're like, holy shit, wait a second. How are we going to stay in control if they start to understand who they are, if they start to get back into the body? The only reason that I'm capable of understanding what's happening right now on the planet for me personally is because I'm in my body feeling everything. If I was distracted on my phone, numbing out, talking about how Donald Trump won or how Biden's a clone or how, there's all this point that, this person's doing this to me or the government's doing that. If I was doing all of that, I wouldn't be aware of what was actually just simply happening in my now moments in my body so that I could be more empowered. Every distraction that's happening on the planet is pulling you out of the present moment, right here, right now, in your body, which is where the evolution is happening. Everything else is just noise. So these powers that be that are both in human bodies controlling the planet and also outside of human bodies controlling the planet, they have for thousands of years, it just is. They understand that we as a human collective are beginning to hold more frequency in our bodies. We're becoming more empowered because we're coming into our bodies and we're starting to catch on. Holy cow, this is about being in my body, recognizing I'm God or soul or spirit, whatever word you want to use, label doesn't matter. And I cannot be controlled anymore. I'm going to start choosing to listen to this as opposed to all of that loud outside noise, right? I'm going to trust my body. I'm going to trust what I'm feeling. I'm going to trust that I'm okay. I'm going to trust that there's nothing wrong with me. I'm going to trust that I can feel whatever it is I'm feeling. I'm going to trust what my intuition is telling me. I'm going to stop listening to everybody else. I'm going to stop following the herd. I'm going to come inward. I'm going to trust this. And the more that you trust this body, the more that you feel, the more that you're going to recognize what's actually happening here. Then you become extremely empowered. You cannot be controlled. And that's what's happening. That's what the split is. The split on the planet right now is that there are you can literally feel yourself no longer being in the same world that everybody else is in. You're like, dude, I can feel that I am very different. Anyways, let me go back. So I'm like, "Oh my freaking God." I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, and everyone's gonna give me their opinions on what they think I'm experiencing, which always is hilarious. But there is a sprinkling of energy, of frequency, energetically from energetic beings trying to dumb down or numb humans. I can feel it. I can feel the energy trying to numb me and dumb me down. And it's the most uncomfortable feeling I've ever felt. I'll tell you why it's so uncomfortable because I can't stop it. So it's almost like I'm in something that I can't get out of. So I have to figure out how to combat it with tools that I have. And believe it or not, for me personally, it has nothing to do with food. I mean, I eat great food. I eat very healthy. I drink really great water. It's not about that for me personally. It is about slowing down, getting quiet, being in nature, feeling even more, allowing myself to be in whatever it is, and to understand this is the most important tool that we have, is to remember what we're doing here, is to remember what we're going through. I don't listen to other people. I don't watch YouTube videos on what's happening. I don't watch astrology stuff. I don't need any of that. It's only going to distract me and confuse me. All I need to do is remember what's happening, drop deeper into my body, and intuitively feel what I'm experiencing. If you can do that more and more, you will start to feel what's actually happening on the planet. And it's not just the normal poisons that we're used to, that we know how to kind of navigate with supplements or food or water or that kind of thing. This is a whole other level that I'm feeling personally. It has nothing to do with, what I'm experiencing personally in my any of that. This is like, it's insane. It's insane, and I'm humbled by it, and I'm in awe of it because the way I see it is this. Okay, obviously, if you remember the history of all of this, we have chosen to be in an evolution, which means that we're moving into higher frequencies. You can call it 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, whatever you wanna call it, but it's different frequencies, and it's happening inside of our bodies. I'll say this again, I say it every single Untangled, but we can't hear it enough because we forget, but there are frequencies from the light. You can call it solar flares. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's light coming down on from the sun, and, it moves into the body, and it increases the frequency of the body. The body's job is to assimilate it, acclimate it first, assimilate it, and then anchor it, okay? That's what the body's doing with this high frequency energy. And as soon as the body can anchor the light, then it increases its frequency, and the body starts to increase in frequency. And when there's an increase in frequency in the physical form, the you that you think you are starts to experience the world in new and different ways. You start to shift, you start to change, your world starts to change. Everything just starts changing more and more and more. And what you start noticing in this evolution is that you're not in control of it. You're in control of how you choose to see it, right? the thoughts you're gonna use and the way you're gonna frame it. Now, what has happened around 6,000 years ago is there's these energies that came down onto the planet, infiltrating the planet, and started to take over the planetary body and the humans. And so long as these energies can kind of stay in control, they're good. And so they do their best to try to slow down or stop the progression of evolution, which means stop the frequencies from increasing. I want you to think about this for a second. This is happening right now, and it's for me personally, this is not about this is way beyond you guys just understanding that Hollywood is a pedophilia circus, you know? This is beyond understanding that there is a new world order or an Illuminati or, you know, whatever you wanna look at. This is way beyond that. This is energetic. The more that you can understand this through the energetic lens that this is an energetic battle, this is a spiritual battle. You can look at and read all the different stories that are happening. But if you don't connect deep into the energies within your body and what's going on in there, we will continue to be caught up in the illusion and in the looping of this is happening and this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. It isn't until we actually get into the driver's seat of our car, which is the body, we shut off all the noise from everyone else and we start to say, what is actually energetically happening in my body right now? Because that's the only thing that matters. Then you realize it's happening to everybody else, and then you can be more loving and more kind and give more hugs and smile and say, my God, if this is what my body's going through, what I'm going through, God help everybody else. And you start being way more kind. But when we understand and remember that there are energies on the planet that are trying to stop this, it's not a fear, it's empowerment. It's the energy of the lion. It's a get out of my way. I know that I'm soul or I'm God, an aspect of God. I know that God or source is overseeing all of this, and that the greatest outcome for humanity is what is unraveling right now and right now and right now. That God is overseeing all of this, that this is this incredible, amazing, divine design that the earth has created for herself and that every soul has dropped in to be a part of. And that we have to go through the splitting of the world. We have to go through the spiritual war that we are in. We have to go through this spiritual battle. You can't meditate yourself out of it. You can't high vibe yourself out of it. You can't positive think yourself out of it. You can't shift into some other frequency where you're above it and floating. We all have to go through the same tunnels. And the tunnel that we're in right now, if you are embodied more and more, will feel more chaotic. And for some of us, it may not feel chaotic. It may feel very, very comfortable and chill. You know, I think it depends on where you are on the planet. Because I'll tell you, in Kenya, there's 5G towers, ps.com, all over Kenya. It's not about 5G. It is, but it's not. This is a whole, you know, this is there are places on the planet that are, um, you know, are not being impacted in the same way. And they're these nefarious energies are trying to impact the, you know, the areas on the planet that are capable of holding much higher frequency. And by the way, these places on the planet you would never necessarily think are the ones that are holding the higher frequencies. Um, but they're still being infiltrated, right? They're still being, kind of energetically sprayed with these frequencies. And so what's important for me right now, and I'm sharing this with all of you to get maybe perhaps a little bit of there's all the different narratives. I did a reel last night and everybody and their grandmother told me what, was actually happening for me, that it was about this and it was actually about this. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've been doing this long enough and I've been given the awareness of what this is for a very long time. And I came here on this planet for one purpose, and it was to bring the remembrance to humanity of what this is that we're in. That's it. So I'm very aware of the purging of energies in the body right now. I'm very aware of specific moments when there are higher frequency energies moving through the body. I know what it feels like. I'm very aware when there are, entities or dark energies trying to infiltrate me or energies around me. I'm very aware of when my body is uh, processing trauma. I'm very aware of, um, now, I'm very aware of really low frequency dusting of energies to try to numb me, which I've never experienced before. This is another level that they're playing at now, that you won't physically see it. You're not going to physically see this. You're not going to be able to prove it, right? You have to feel it. And then you have to trust what you're feeling. And you have to understand, oh, yeah, that's right. We're in this evolutionary shift, which means it's a frequency shift. And the only way to keep humanity in a state of control is to keep them disempowered. And the only way you can keep a human collective disempowered is to keep them out of their body. Torsten, thank you for the super chat. And the only way that you keep humans out of their bodies, you distract them. You make them not trust their bodies. You make them believe there's something wrong with them. And you make them continue to look outside of themselves to fight and to argue and to discuss and to debate. It's about this. No, it's about anything other than just being inside your body is what they want, what these energies want. It's how they can continue to control humanity. So you have to start to look at, where am I in each moment of my day? Where am I? Most of us are in our minds, where am I? What am I feeling? You're inside a collective energy. You're inside a collective energy. What does it feel like in your day? Right? And can you start to use a scientific lens instead of the human lens of you being the person experiencing it and there's something wrong with you? You have to start to be the scientist. And it's not about being right. And it's not about trying to figure out who's out to get you. uh or you want to, this is about you becoming, um this is about you becoming more empowered. That's it. Over and 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 over. So what does empowerment mean to you? What does it mean? Seriously, think about that word. What does empowerment for me means? That I'm not leaning on the opinions or truths of anything outside of my soul and God. That's empowerment. Empowerment means that I can feel absolutely anything and I'll be okay. Empowerment means that I can be in a state of not being in control and know that I'm safe. Empowerment means that I can remember that I don't know what's going to unravel. None of us know. None of us. We can know what's being experienced right now on the planet, but we do not know what's coming other than the natural process of evolution. Even the energies that are outside of the planet watching all of this don't know how it's going to go because the human collective has free will. The only thing that is an absolute, one, that you are soul connected to God, so therefore you are God. Two, you are inside a physical body. Three, you're experiencing a planetary uh, journey. And four, there is a natural process of evolution happening, which means that the entire planet and human collective is shifting frequency. Currently on the planet, there is a splitting. There is a split in experience. It's a slow, tedious split, but you're going to start to feel it. And what it's going to feel like is it's not that you are going to become separate from people. It is definitely not the ridiculous stories that you're going to be separated from loved ones or you're going to go to some special place or that those ridiculous stories are not true. This is frequency, which means energy. It's happening inside physical reality, but it is a frequency. So what's starting to happen right now, what you're going to start to recognize and realize is when you walk around, you're going to feel a split now. You're going to feel like you're here and others are here, but they're in a different reality than you. And it's not a cognitive knowingness like, oh, they don't understand what I know. They're not awake. They're, you know, I forgot the word people use, but they're zombies or they're this. No, it's not that's not the experience. It's an energetic experience. So you can feel, okay? So there's no judgment. You can feel that you're in a different field than they are. You can just feel that you're not in the same place energetically. Like, and again, I really want to preface this. This is not about you being better than or I'm awake and they're asleep. Okay, because we are all very numbed out right now, no matter how awake you are. Okay. We are. It's we have a lot of work to still do. Um, and to be able to be humble to that, is a gift. The moment you start to think that you're awake and that you are more evolved than others is the moment you need to really sit down and say, maybe I should get back into my body more and feel everything. How present am I in the now? How loud are my thoughts and can I hear them? Right? How often am I on YouTube and Instagram and all of this trying to consume, consume, consume instead of just being, So we like to think of ourselves as these awakened, enlightened, advanced ones. But we kind of need to come back down onto the into the ground a little, onto the floor a little bit more and humble ourselves in this. This is this what humanity is going through right now is going to humble us in ways that we're not aware of right now. So, back to the splitting though, what I really would like to talk about is, you're gonna feel and again, please try not to judge yourself or others, but you're going to start feeling more and more and not like you did in COVID where, people don't understand you and uh, you know, people don't know why you're choosing what you that it's not like I'm not talking about that. I am talking about you literally walking down the road with friends or family or strangers, and you can energetically feel that you are absolutely in a different dimension than them. Like you can just feel it. Like you're here, but you're pretty sure where they are physically, you're not, kind of. It's like, um it's kinda like you're starting to walk around and you're like, "I don't think people I feel that I'm in a different frequency." Like something just feels a little separated, even though we're all starting to recognize that we're connected as individual sparks of God, unique individual sparks of God, all interconnected on this planet. You are going to start to see things through the lens of frequency or energy, vibration, and you're going to realize it's different fields, which is why they like to call them dimensional fields. Okay, it's a different field. So you're here, but you're not here. You're literally feeling like you may be in a different field than somebody else. Again, try not to be like, oh, I'm in 5D and they're in 3D. I mean, that needs to stop. Sorry, but it does. Like all of this, like, there you don't have a choice. This stuff is just happening. Okay. We're all in the tunnel of evolution. We are all in a tunnel right now where we are being catapulted. And for those that are unawake right now and not sure what's happening, that's okay. There will be a tunnel that they will find themselves in that we will be in with them, but we'll be experiencing that tunnel differently. And the tunnel that we're in right now with humanity is a very physical shift. And hundreds of millions of humans are not going to feel it the same way you are. You are a very small percentage that is more that has a higher frequency in the body right now because that's what you chose as soul. Not because you're better or you're cooler, or you're more enlightened or you're no. It's because you chose it as a soul. You chose to awaken as part of the kind of first wave. And so your body is beginning to wake up, turn on. And so you're realizing what you're in more and more. And for you, maybe it's that you started recognizing during COVID all of this stuff, and then you just keep waking up to all this other stuff. And now you're realizing, oh my God, there's something going on in my body. Oh my God, there's all these energies. Maybe it was in 2001, and 9/11 happened and you woke up, right? Maybe you just had your own awakening in 1976. I don't know, right? But you are experiencing this physical shift right now in a much more sensitive way. But you are no better than anyone else, right? You are not more enlightened. It's and somebody else isn't more enlightened than you or more awake. It's simply just a game of frequency, which just means experience, awareness. That's it. And awareness is being able to be in, see, experience everything. So the majority of humanity, including you and I, were very disconnected, disassociated, numbed out, and not feeling. We were not aware, perhaps for a lot of your life, right? And a lot of my life, until you start to wake up more. And then you wake up more. And waking up is just synonymous with the body increasing in frequency, but they have to go hand in hand. Right. And so you look out in the world and you're like, why is nobody else experiencing the same things I am? If there's this high frequency light coming down onto the planet into human bodies, why are we experiencing it differently? And it has to do with awareness. There has to be a conscious or unconscious choice to wake up. Otherwise, it's literally just light hitting the body and just moving through without awareness is everything. Without awareness, the evolution in human consciousness can't actually anchor itself into new realities. So the anchoring of high frequency light into the body has to be twofold. The human has to have awareness of what's happening inside the body. If there's no awareness, okay, that's what assimilating is. Okay, assimilating the energy is that. So acclimation is when the light comes into the human body or onto the planet and you acclimate. So it starts to move around and it starts to shift things. Okay. Assimilating is when it starts to settle in. And so it starts to pull apart the trauma. It starts to pull apart the density. That assimilation is when awareness wakes up out of the illusion that it's the human and the body and that it's all of this. Okay. Anchoring is when awareness says, wow, oh my God, I'm not this. I am not these programs and these stories and holy cow. And awareness is what helps the body anchor higher frequency. And so, although it's a natural process of evolution, there has to constantly be a choice with the human. That's free will of how the human is going to experience the process of evolution. So, an unconscious, numbed out human is not going to be able to start evolving and shifting into new ways of being without awareness, right? So, awakening is awareness. That's all it is. It's like turning on the light in the bedroom. But the problem with awareness, my friends, awakening is that you become more sensitive. I want you to imagine that you're in a bedroom and the lights have been dim most of your life and you haven't seen a lot of stuff inside the bedroom. And I'm talking about in your inner world. I'm not talking about what's happening out there in the world. I'm talking about in the inner world. There's a lot of stuff happening out there in the world. And yes, the knowledge and information about it is great, but if that's the only thing you're focusing on, you are missing the greatest gift. Because the number one thing that we should be focused on right now is what's happening inside here on an energetic level without judgment. So you're in this room and the dimmer light is starting to go on. And it's like you're becoming, it's like, imagine you've been in a dark cave and then the light turns on. It's blinding. It's like, oh my God, this hurts. This literally hurts, right? That's what happens when the body starts to turn on. It starts to hold higher frequency. You become so sensitive that it's almost painful. That's what's happening to a lot of us right now. It's really the sensitivity of just being in the world, which is all energy, is becoming more difficult. Right? Now you layer on top of that there is some sort of, there are all kinds of poisons that are being thrown onto us in order to keep us numb, out of body, not feeling, right? Unconscious. And apparently, from what I'm experiencing, there are also these energetic droppings of frequencies in certain parts of the planet that's literally causing. It's almost like if you're freaking rocking the evolution right now, like if you've been like, like just nailing it, and nailing it is like you're going through the ups and downs, you're feeling everything, you're looking at everything, you're allowing everything, it's doesn't rocking this evolution doesn't mean that you are on cloud 9 in a blissful state, right? Rocking the evolution is you're literally going on the waves. Right? You're like, "Oh my god, this is insane." One day I'm like this, the next day I'm like this, right? Um, and if you've been doing that and you're like, "I'm getting the hang of this." And then all of a sudden you're like being dragged on the bottom of the ocean, right? And you're dragging the sand almost like an anchor that's at the bottom of the ocean and you're like, "What is going on here?" Right? You're gonna start to notice, like I am, like, "Oh, this is a different level of manipulation right now. Holy, they are really trying to get me right now. They're really trying to keep my body out of the natural process of its evolution." Um, and to say that, you know, you can say that there's all these other things that are happening and that is a part of it. Yes, but if you are very aware like I am and have been awake for a very long time and are very in your body aware of energies, you feel everything like I do. I allow every emotion to go through. I look at every single, like I am very conscious, and I'm not just saying that to like toot my own horn. I'm extremely aware. You're going to be very, very, very aware when it's a poison that's energetic and that has nothing to do with Pluto leaving whatever the heck's going on, which is powerful, but that's not what this is. 5G, that's not what this is. Poisons in the food and water, that's not what this is. The fear infiltration, that's not what this is. This is a purposeful, nefarious f- dropping of like, we're going to try to stop you. And any you people that are starting to really anchor higher frequency, oh, heck no. Like, that's what it feels like. I'm like, okay, game on. I don't drop into fear. I don't drop into disempowerment. I don't drop into they are doing something to me. I drop into game on. Game on. I'm in. I'm in. I start fighting like the lion. That's what I'm going to do. That's why I'm sharing this, because which is, these energies that are both human and not human, that you can see and that you can't see, they have loved being in control of this planet. They have loved being in control of humanity. And you came down onto the planet at this time to be a part of this, to fight this, to take charge, to literally charge forward. Why do you think they have called it light warriors for so long? Why do you think they've called it light workers for so long? You're working, you're a warrior. It's not easy. You don't sit on the top of a mountaintop in the lotus position in a blissful state. This is a freaking battle. This is not how it was 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. This is a training that you are in, my friend, and it all stems from inside the body. The greatest thing you could possibly do, besides being in your body, listening to yourself and shutting off every single distraction that you're listening to, is go be kind to people. Smile. In fact, how many people can you smile? How many strangers can you smile at today? How many strangers can you wave and say hi to and watch how they look at you shocked? At least in Northern California where I live, they will look at you like you are an alien. Trying to say hello to somebody in the city area I live in is like you're an alien, because people are so numbed out. They're so disconnected. The type of That's why I love Kenya, because people are just so connected. They're so in their bodies. They're so there. You can feel their spirit, you can feel them. Where I live, it's like, "Hello? Is there," like, you're knocking, like, "Is anyone home? Are you in there?" Like, you know? So, I mean, I go to my grocery store almost every day because I never buy groceries, like, I never get, like, bags of groceries and, like, have, like, a week's supply. I just get food for the day. So, I'm at my grocery store almost every day, and there is only literally 1 or 2, people that work at the cash register that actually talk and say hello. It's wild to me. It's like I'm like, "Wow, it's just crazy where I am." So, all of that to say, one of the ways that we kind of combat that's what's happening on the planet, isn't to be like, woe is us, we're screwed, this is happening to us, and this is happening, and what are we going to do, and oh my god, what's coming. No, we have to courageously be inside our physical bodies, recognizing what's happening. Like, are you aware of what's going on in your body? Are you aware of what you're feeling? Do you feel energies? Do you feel different? What are you feeling? That's the most empowered place you could be. And then you want to go out in the world and say, all right, at least for me, this stuff may be happening. Something's coming in and trying to mess with me. But what can I do to combat it? Awareness of it, smile at people, be kind to people, be open to people, you know? Human to human interaction, literally, it's almost like it magnifies or amplifies frequency. Really. The more that we close in, stay shut down, get upset, get angry, yell at someone, then it amplifies that lower frequency of separation, right? It amplifies disempowerment. It amplifies separateness. We want to amplify togetherness. We want to amplify humanity. We want to amplify the heart. We want to amplify kindness and compassion, right? We want to amplify embodiment. We want to amplify soul. So, um, find ways throughout your day, recognize how you're going to you may feel more isolated, more separate, more alone, more disconnected, right? And so is there a way that you can force yourself to go out and just see humans, be with humans, wave to a human, smile to you, just say hello, right? Like, and not be aggressive or upset, no matter what humans do or how they respond. Anyway, I've only got a few minutes left because I have to go into my Align 9.0 class, which I forgot to talk about. Also, we have 2 spots left for our Kenya retreat in June if you wanna go to Kenya. The wait list is down below. Join the wait list, and we're gonna send an email out today of the 2 slots remaining. Um, Kenya is holding a much higher frequency than the United States, much higher. Kenya changed my life. Kenya dropped me into my body. Kenya dropped me deeper into soul. Kenya, no matter what's going on in Kenya and how messed up the Kenyan government is and how there's always dark and light. That's polarity, right? Kenya's no different. But there is a frequency in Kenya that is way, way beyond what I feel in a lot of the parts of the United States. Um, and so one of the reasons why I'm doing these retreats in Kenya, one of the reasons why I'm going back to Kenya, one of the reasons why I'm writing my book in Kenya is because of the higher frequency it holds, which allows me to be able to be in the shift. It allows me to be in these energies. It allows me to be in the tunnel that we're going through, but it's a softer way of going through it, right? So the land itself can hold me in a way that the United States can't, and especially Northern California. Um, And there's nothing wrong with being in these places that are really being inundated with some heavy energies, but it sure the heck feels nice to be in a place like Kenya where the land itself is amplified. So all of that just to say that if you have the means and the ways to come to Kenya, I highly recommend joining one of the 2 spots we have left in June. We are gonna do another retreat. We may do 2 more retreats in 2025, definitely one, another one in September, October, and then probably one in December. I love going in December 2025. But yeah, there's a link down below. It says it's the wait list. If you get on that wait list now, um, you'll get an email that has all the information for the retreat. Anyway, you guys, what a wild ride. I'm committed to continuing to talk about what I'm experiencing because this is the evolution in my whatever I'm experiencing is the evolution. So long as I'm able to peel it apart and decipher kind of what is well, I mean, all of it is the evolution. And I don't think there's anything more important right now than really dissecting on an energetic level what we're in and what this is. The physics of it. It's physics. And you agreed to be in all of this. And it's going to look like trauma and emotions and anxiety and stress and depression and worry and loss of money and gaining more money and uh, all of it. That it's going to look like all of that because that's the human experience, We're not getting out of the human experience. We're just remembering, we're actually diving deeper into the human experience, remembering what we're in. So there's this like shift, there's this rattling, intense rattling um, of frequency right now, coming from all different angles. You may be experiencing it in all different ways, right? For all different reasons. But at the end of the day, please remember that you are in an evolutionary shift in human consciousness that is simply frequency shifting. Please remember that there are energies that are trying to stop it. That's fine. Please remember that this force of God or source, whatever you want to call it, is overarching and watching all of us. And that there is absolutely no way that this evolutionary shift doesn't continue into higher and higher frequencies. But let's not pretend that it's not rocky and shaky and holy cow. Let's be humble to all of it. And if there is anything that I will continue to share with all of us, stop listening to all of the things you're listening to. I am telling you, if there's one weapon that they are using out there, it's distraction. It's distraction. It is addictive. It creates unconsciousness. It creates a numbing. It creates a disempowerment. It creates confusion. It creates insecurity, unworthiness, doubt, lack, fear, uh, mind fuckery, excuse my language. All of that is being amplified because of how much distraction is going on through your phones, through YouTube, through all of it. It is on a whole other level. I've been talking about this for a year, but it is the number one weapon that they are using right now. How many different, YouTube videos are you watching about what's coming and what's about to happen and how this and how that and they're doing this and they're that's great information, my friends, but what is it doing to your psyche? What's it doing to your body? Where is it pulling you? How present are you? How in the now are you? How quiet are you? How still are you? Even in a busy life, you can be still. Even in a busy life, you can be quiet. The distractions are out of this world. It's insane. The one place that I have found more peace and calm and stillness is by literally no longer watching things other than like the few things I watch. And I'll just keep saying this for the next 5, 10, 15 years because it's literally the number one weapon they're using. I love you guys. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. I'll see you next Tuesday. If you want to join us for Align, we're only on day 6. It's a 21-day intensive. Today's going to be really fun. We're going to sit with guidance and the what's around us and helping us move through this. Align 9.0. The link down below to join. The link is down below to join Align 9.0. We started 6 days ago. We go every day until December 4th. It's really fun. It's really cool. I love you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. Mwah. Bye.